Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining Whiskey Tango Talk with Brandon. I'm Brandon. Kristin. We're from Whiskey Tango Farms. If you didn't know, I'm sure you did. That's why you're here. But anyways, I'd like to start off by comment down below where you're from. It's always cool to see where everybody's from. Kristin's got more announcements because she's way better at it than I am, but I'll pass it off to her.
Oh, wait, we dropped a bone.
You dropped a bone?
Yeah.
You're chewing on bones now?
Yeah, I got my snack here.
The dog.
Yeah, it's for Khaleesi, who's next to me. But, all right, again, like Brandon said, this is Whiskey Tango Talk. We do this every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central here on YouTube. It also dual streams over on Facebook. We hang out, we talk, we chat, we have story time a lot. We get distracted. We learn a lot, though, from you guys, and hopefully you guys learn from us. We talk about quail, rabbits, gardening, homesteading. Feel free to ask questions. We do have lots of quail, and we ship nationwide. You can get eggs at whiskeytangofarms.net. So we do know quite a bit about quail. So if you have any quail questions, let us know. We also have rabbits. We have silver fox and creme d'argents. We also have some New Zealands, but we're not as knowledgeable about those particular breeds because we don't like show them or anything. So feel free to ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. We just ask that you keep it family friendly in the comments. Like Brandon said, give a shout out where you're from. We read the comments and go through all those. If you haven't heard, QuailCon is Labor Day weekend at my Shire Farm in Miamisburg, Ohio. We're co-hosting. I did post in the chat as well for our video all about QuailCon that gives you all the details about it. There are only 5 tickets left, which is insane, and we're getting down in days. So I'm super excited about that. So be sure you check that out. We do also have some special QuailCon merchandise, a couple different t-shirt designs in the magazine. I'm working on getting some other products available to you guys as well. They are drop shipped to you directly, so you don't pick them up at QuailCon like you did last year. We'll have a vendor table at QuailCon as well with some goodies and merch and swag. Of course, we have Facebook, YouTube. We also have Instagram. I already mentioned our website. Thank you to Ed and Brenna, who are our moderators. Is there a super chat? Yeah, there is a super chat, super sticker button where you can make a donation to our channel that goes towards QuailCon. Our videos also have a super thanks button on them for the same purpose.
And you can join our channel.
What?
Oh, never mind. There's option to join to support the channel monthly if you wanted.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I just added.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
sorry.
We are in production for the Quail Mamas and Daddies calendars. I've received a couple pictures already. Super fun. Yeah. I'm excited. Yes. We have our group on Facebook called Self-Sufficient Backyard. We talk about
over 3,000 members now.
Yay. We talk about basically what we talk about on here: quail, rabbits, gardening, tractor, self-sufficiency. And the kind of the purpose of it is that you don't need like a big old farm or a bunch of acreage to be self-sufficient. You don't even have to have a yard. So if your yard is just your porch, like so be it. But so there's lots of really good ideas in there. We have a lot of space or none at all. So yeah, check us out. I saw the link was posted in the chat as well by Ed. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell to get updates about all of our videos that are upcoming. We have a bunch that we are working on editing right now, so that's super fun. And then for anybody local to us, we will be going to the PK Amherst Swap this weekend, which is fantastic. I think it's going to be huge again. The last one was just kind of like a last minute add-on. So people had like asked off of work and stuff. This time, everybody, was planning for it like all winter, so I think it's gonna be pretty big. So we will be there with some stuff, as much as we can bring. We'll have a whole lot of hatching eggs right now because we have a lot of orders, which is a good thing. But yeah, so that's all I've got. I think. Let me double check. Yep, that's all I've got. So over to you. Back to you for the duckweed report.
I don't have a duckweed report.
The duckweed.
I mean, Yeah. If you really want to start that.
No.
Start with that.
Oops, how did I hit something? What did I hit? Ah!
I don't know what you hit. What'd you hit?
Oh, I don't know. It was something. Leave the cat alone.
No ticker for breaking news? Sure. Duckweed report. Anyways, we'll start with that. Duckweed is okay. I need to do water change. I plan on doing a video. I put a bunch of duckweed in a little makeshift pond I have, but the fish ate it all. It wasn't even the ducks.
They were eating it, but then we put a lid on it because we're like, is it the ducks eating it or is it the fish? And
yeah, I wasn't sure.
It didn't disappear as fast, so I think the ducks are eating it too.
But I knew the fish would eat it, and there's quite a few fish in there. But it grew so well in the pond before. I was just trying to grow more of it so I could feed to more animals. Because I needed a big, yeah, that's all gone. I mean, that big, short majority of it was gone. But yeah, that's the duckweed report.
Back to you for Whiskey Tango Talk. Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing? No!
What's she doing?
I don't know. Making a mess.
Sounds like it. Ed shared our self-sufficient backyard group. If you guys want to join that, if you haven't, it's a great place to learn some different tips and see some other areas, other things that people have done in their backyard. And Quail link for the QuailCon tickets. Go get your QuailCon ticket. I believe Kristin said there was 5 left, so
yes,
that's awesome. Let's get those sold out. Verna's here. Says hello. Good evening, Brandon and Kristin. Good evening, Verna. Ed also shared the link for the QuailCon merch. If you guys want to go get a t-shirt for QuailCon. Joy's here. Says hello, everyone from Western Oregon. Hello. Thank you for joining tonight. Truck 3 Warden's here from up north there, Wisconsin.
Up there north.
Up north there, hey.
Yeah, there, hey.
Jasmine's here. Hello, all. Hello.
There was lots of people heading up there north earlier, like last week when I went to lunch with a friend up north.
Oh, well, that was.
And the northbound traffic was
4th of July.
Insane. A lot of Illinois plates.
How was everybody's 4th of July?
Hopefully everybody had a safe and happy 4th.
Ours was pretty good, although we slept on the 4th.
It was raining
in the afternoon, and then didn't wake up until like 8 o'clock. There we go. Jasmine says, I'm absolutely loving my newest rabbits. It's amazing the differences of working with young rabbits that have been handled versus given hand-me-downs. What handling tips have you got to keep us on track? Treats.
and handling every day. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't know too much about American Blues in particular.
She's got those cream babies.
Yeah, I know. So the creams and like Silver Fox, we obviously have a lot of experience with. They're known to be like more docile and like laid back and friendly. Anyways, creams, creme d'argents tend to be a little more shy. Like if you're new to them, like we just got another doe and she's shy. Like she'll warm up to us. They're not mean or anything, but she's just like doesn't fully trust us yet. So we're working with her with lots of treats. So it'll happen, but just make sure, you're working with them, petting them, giving them treats, not too many because you don't want them to get fat or they won't have babies.
We have to breed all the rabbits this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I'm just overwhelmed with all the rabbits.
Well, Some of them are going bye-bye.
But if you breed them, they make more.
Yeah, that's the point.
There's so many rabbits.
That's what rabbit tractors are for.
Anywho, yes, daily handling. But I'm glad that you're enjoying your crumb to argent babies, and I can't wait to get some more pictures from you and find a good husband for your 2 girls.
Verna says, Kristin, I got my 2 potatoes are growing like crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, my grow bag potatoes are doing good, but the ones out in the field, the potato bugs are having a field day.
They're having a heyday. Yeah,
and I'm like, all the foliage is eaten off them. Like, excuse me, ma'am. So I'm not sure. Like, obviously, they're eating all the like flowers off and stuff. So I don't know how it's gonna go with the onions. Are doing amazing. I might have a few carrots.
Oh, you had something in your hair.
Probably bone shrapnel. The carrots, I have a couple. They didn't do super great, but it's mostly my fault. And it was kind of an experiment anyways. What else do we have with the corn is good. Definitely knee high by 4th of July. It's like hip high. So it's a little behind what it was last, but that's okay. Yeah. The green stalk is doing amazing. I love my green stalk for sure.
All right. Jasmine says, garden is really taking a beating with all this heat, early hot weather. Wow, I can't read. The tomatoes aren't well pollinated. The squash bugs have taken over, and the cucumbers are bitter. Oh well, for planning for fall.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now. I feel like my farm is kicking my butt, like my garden. I need to go tie up the tomatoes some more.
The tomatoes are doing amazing.
I had them tied up probably 4 feet high, 3 or 4 feet high.
Somewhere around there.
And they're now probably about 5 foot high. So the top 2 feet, they're just like flopping all over. And it's kind of like jungly in there. And I'm a little like, I don't want to go in there because it's like a mess. But I know I need to. So they're doing really good. So it's good. It's good that they're so huge. Out front, I saw the zucchini that made it through the fence. They ate.
They're on the trellis?
Yeah. No, not this trellis. The tractor garden. Those zucchinis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right next to the Irish Spring soap. So apparently we need to refresh it or find something else, or maybe find a different scent of soap that they don't like. I don't know. So.
Excuse me. Jennels is here and says, good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Hello,
Thank you for joining us. Verna says, Franklin, Ohio, she's from. Says we're out of focus. We might be just blurry.
I think it's our internet.
I am using my cell phone for internet right now because, I don't know, the Wi-Fi didn't work.
Maybe put it up on the thing.
I had it here. Oh, we'll put it there. Hopefully it doesn't fall.
I'll be right back.
You're going to take the dog away? All right.
Yeah.
It says he's from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Sounds like a fun time.
Oh my God.
Truck 3 Warden donated $10. Super chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Ed says, I want to hear the hog report with Les Nessman. I don't know what Les Nessman is. Jesse says, Waterloo, Iowa. It says fish love duckweed too. Yeah, what I have in there for fish is just some goldfish, and the store had some actual like adult goldfish. They're like 4 or 5 inches long, so they're nice big ones. And I think those are the ones that ate all the duckweed because they eat a lot. Those big ones. Jasmine says, LOL, Khaleesi, silly puppy. Yeah, she's a handful. Crazy dog. Varna says, Kristin and I have buckwheat bread in the bread machine right now. That sounds good. I've never had buckwheat bread. I've had buckwheat honey, but never ate anything with buckwheat. Verna says she has buckwheat bread in the oven right now.
Buckwheat? Like buckwheat honey? Or
yeah, but buckwheat bread.
Interesting.
Psycho Ward 360 says, howdy y'all from Vegas. Hello, thank you for joining. And Verna says, I have buckwheat honey to put on it as well. Cool. I like buckwheat honey. I imagine buckwheat bread tastes similar.
That's what we have for colds, right? Yeah, that was the buckwheat honey.
Yeah, it's good for...
Speaking of honey, today I asked my doctor about like bee venom because I'm allergic to ground. Like when I was stung before and I had like my throat was closing up, it was a ground wasp. So I was like, well, so does that mean I'm going to be allergic to like honeybees too? And she said that she was going to like research it because she, knows that that's not always the case, but we don't know if there's a test for it, or she didn't know if there was a test she could order for it. So she was going to look into it and tell me at my next appointment in a couple weeks or like a month. So that'd be cool if we could get bees. We probably won't do that here because we just won't do it here. But
yeah, I don't think we're allowed to actually have bees close anywhere where we would be able to put them. They would have to. I would want to put them like on the edge of our property, and we're technically not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah, we make enough of our own trouble.
Verna says, I wish it would have rained here, so Lucy and I wouldn't have had to put up with the noise. Jasmine says, watching you two is like watching myself and Luke. LOL, love it. Thanks. Hopefully I'm wondering, curious if the phone, if it looks better.
It looks okay on my computer.
Jesse says, Loretta's mini Rex should be having babies in the next couple of days. Oh, that's exciting.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh, they're so stinking cute. And it's always fun like when you get different colors because there's so many different possibilities for the mini Rex. So that's awesome. I can't wait to hear about them.
Ed donated to us. Just keep doing what you do. The wife and I love your lives.
Oh,
well, thank you much. And just a reminder, any donations given to us now until QuailCon, go to QuailCon. So thank you. Jasmine says, oh, yay, Loretta must be super excited. That sounds awesome. Ed said, thank you to Truck 3 Warden for the donation. Yep, thank you again. Witch Doctor's here, says, hey there. Thank you for joining. Ed says, how's the freeze drying going? Jess says, she is excited. His daughter for the baby kits. Verna says, I should have my freeze dryer in the middle of August. Cool.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It's exciting. Jasmine says, my loofah and sweet potato patches are doing well, and so are my perennial flowers and herbs. That's awesome. Good. I don't think our loofahs are doing that good.
I have two that are like doing amazing, and the rest are like.
I was going to tell you we should plant the one that's still in the pot in the backyard because it's actually.
I didn't know I had more.
Yeah, there's two.
I didn't know that.
I saw them on the chair, the broken chair. And the one is actually like wanting to grab onto stuff
really?
through its little tentacle.
Tendril?
I call them tentacles.
It's kind of cool, like how they like have a mind of their own. It's a little creepy, but also kind of cool. So, anyways.
Ed says get some coyote urine to keep the deer away. He said that will keep the deer away, see?
Yeah, coyote urine.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was agreeing with you. I wasn't.
If the neighbors weren't so close, I tend to do that sometimes. But it's a bad area to do that at.
We, when we first moved here and we had a predator attack, it was either a mink or a weasel. We weren't sure. And I got my like trapping license and did all that. And we still weren't catching anything. And I was super paranoid about it. And then I don't remember where it was, if you read it or somebody told us, but they said, have the men of the house pee around the outside of the chicken coop. So I had Preston and Brandon go around and, they took turns and like eventually over time we got all the way around and we haven't had any issues. So I don't know, seems to work, but I can't have him do that out front by that garden because we would definitely get called into the city.
Verna says Les Nessman was WKRP in Cincinnati.
What?
It's radio. Oh, you weren't here. Said something about the hog report with Les Nessman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we joked we were going to get hogs to make the neighbors mad, but we're not allowed to have them here, so we won't. Someday, we want piggies.
Verna says, Kristin, many times if you're allergic to bees, you will be allergic to honey.
Oh. Well, I'm not. So, and I'm definitely allergic to ground stinging buzzes. So, or what did Jasmine call it? Spicy raisins. Spicy flying raisins.
Yeah.
Moonshine was after a flying raisin the other day. It was fun.
Jasmine said, I tried growing buckwheat this year. It had less than 50% germination. I will try a different location next time.
Yeah, because buckwheat it's not.
I love buckwheat honey.
Not cheap. It's not like super expensive, but I know when I was looking at it, like as a like cover crop options for our field here, and I was like, oof, not that. I don't remember what I decided on, and then I just like let the idea go. So
you were gonna plant a cover crop?
I thought about it and then harvest it. I don't know. Like I said, I just let it go.
Okay.
Different change of plans.
Ed says we look good on the TV.
Oh, thanks.
And most times you're fuzzy.
He's getting a little, isn't he?
Missed the spot. My leg was almost gonna shake.
Oh my god.
Anyways, Jesse Mills says, Loretta says, thanks, LOL. It's awesome. You're welcome. I'm sorry, we're weird. We're, yeah, that's just how I am. Verna says, my fig is twice the size since last week. That's awesome.
Our olive tree died. I think it's official. I think it's gone.
Yeah, I haven't watered it in like 2 weeks now, so it's just been sitting there.
I accidentally bumped into it the other day and a branch snapped off. I'm like, ooh, that is dry.
Yeah, it died like instantly.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
It is sad, but I can't.
I was upset.
I'm a little sad because I don't know what we did wrong.
I didn't do anything. It literally died instantly, like within 3 days.
Yeah.
Like all the leaves fell off of it. And I thought it was just like a shock. And we brought it home. And
it could be. I mean, shock can kill.
And I thought I was going to start growing back. I was trying to take care of it and do all because buds coming out for like new leaves and stuff. But then like shortly after that, it just was like, nope, I'm done. I'm not growing anymore.
Yeah.
So it sucks. I spent a lot of money on that tree. Jasmine says, not necessarily, Verna. There are no bee venom in honey. The enzymes that make the honey and venom have different cellular makeup. Now allergies can Why does that not make sense?
Basically, she's saying like if like say you're allergic to clover and you get clover honey.
Allergies to certain plants and raw honey with that can be. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what she means. That would make sense, right?
Yeah.
But if you're allergic to bees, you're not necessarily allergic to honey, which would be true in my case too.
Witch Doctor says we have ordered wolf urine to keep cats away from our trucks.
Oh.
They were spraying the tires. That is weird.
I wonder why they were marking your tires. That's interesting. I wonder if like a cat, like maybe at your work or something, was peeing on them, and then when you come home. That's weird.
I'm just reading Verna's other comment.
Oh.
Jasmine, I know a woman so allergic to bees that she cannot eat honey.
Interesting. It must be like a coincidence, or maybe, I don't know. That's weird.
It says Walmart hunting aisle.
Yeah, Fleet Farm. I've seen, because even by like by the hunting stuff, like where you can get like doe urine and stuff, they have like, and for trapping and stuff too. When I was buying traps, like there's different kinds of urine that you can get. So I don't know. I walked past the aisle once, and obviously somebody like dropped and broke a bottle because it was rancid. It was like, oh, it was so bad. It was really, so.
Verna says pee in a bottle and pour it around the front area. He doesn't have to do the pee in public.
Oh, well, that takes all the fun away. Oh my gosh, do you remember when we were at the hospital, his grandpa was in the hospital, and my son, we were outside talking with family because you can only have so many people in the room at a time. So then we decided to like all sit outside at the picnic table, and we were talking, and my son was like, I really have to pee, and I can't remember if I told him to hold it or if I told him to go pee on a tree. I think I told him to go pee on a tree. And I wasn't like serious, but he went and he just like pulled out of the parking garage, and she was, I don't know what to tell you, he's a farm kid. Like,
we just froze.
Uh-oh. That's okay. You missed my story. That's okay. It wasn't that good a story.
Yeah, that's all right.
I might have to cut her short tonight.
I think we're all right.
You think so?
Jasmine said she is a very rare case. I feel bad for her. That is autoimmune condition reaction. Poor thing. Yeah, that does suck.
Well, I'm glad my mom doesn't have that, because she has a lot of autoimmune stuff. And unfortunately, once you have one autoimmune thing, you usually get like a bunch more. But you're not always, like, it's not like you're always going to get everything. So, however, like allergies and autoimmune stuff can come up at any time. So, knock on wood, she doesn't have that.
Ed says, get a long trench coat. It's all right.
Look like you're from the Matrix.
I think it was for the peen.
Yeah.
Jasmine says, spicy sky raisins, LOL.
Oh, sky raisins, not flying raisins. Sorry.
Witch Doctor says, have you seen the new variegated sunflowers that are coming out hopefully in a few years?
Yes.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Are those the ones that the guy over here grows?
Yeah, Sunflower Steve. I'm sure somebody else.
I had no idea who that guy was, and Kristen's like, there's some dude in Wisconsin that grows sunflowers.
I didn't know he was from Wisconsin.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
because the one day, like I like have been following him, and like I see people talk about like his Van Gogh mystery mix, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I really want some, but they're sold out, and it's like limited edition. So I was like, I'm gonna watch that like a hawk because I want some. And then I don't know, I was scrolling the gram, and I saw that he sold or donated sunflowers to like his local fire department or something. And I was like, hey, that's in Wisconsin. And sure enough, I went to his website, and I can't remember if it was at the bottom or the contact us or something. It said he's from Wisconsin. I'm like, oh my God, he's literally 3 hours away from us. So he's over by like the Minnesota-Wisconsin border, but still I'm like, dang, I would drive 3 hours just to see sunflowers.
That's not even 3 hours.
So yeah, I was like, that is cool. So
yeah,
it'd be cool to like go there and see all their sunflowers.
Ed says, sorry, you're fuzzy now.
Dang it, Ed, it's all your fault. You jinxed it. I'm just kidding.
Jasmine said, oh, I haven't seen a variegated sunflower, Mel. I will have to see that.
Yeah, look up Sunflower Steve on Instagram. And like even the leaves are variegated. So that's really cool. Like he has a bunch of like update pictures. And I mean he's like breeding these, so he's like, you know, it's all an experiment, just like quail colors, you know, which is super neat. You know, he's taking just normal stuff and mixing it and then trying to mix it and try to reproduce it. And I think that that's really super cool. So
Witch Doctor says, because Psycho Ward always has the nicest truck on the block and is super shiny and all of his products smell good and the cats liked it. Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Jasmine says, Brandon, we are putting our new brush hogs to work tomorrow. Goats. Putting up the electric netting tonight and moving them in the morning. I'll get you before and after photos. Awesome. I'm excited to see that.
I'm so excited for your walking lawnmowers.
Ed says, LOL Matrix, just don't bend over backwards.
Oh my gosh.
It may start raining.
Ew.
Anywho.
That makes me think of Prin. We brought our son home from the hospital and he was laying on put him like on the back of the car to change him, and baby boys, yeah. If you know, you know.
What? You're supposed to be telling stories.
I did. I didn't want to go into detail because I want to get in trouble from the YouTubies. Your dog is yelling.
Yeah, your face is yelling. I'm asking a question. I want to know.
What's your favorite part of raising rabbits or quails?
Curious everybody else's. Sunflower Steve. Sunflower Steve Seed Company.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Steven says quail. What's your favorite part about raising them?
See, aren't those pretty?
What's your most enjoyment out of raising your quails? How to make that picture? I don't know. I don't really want to. There we go.
That's the Van Gogh mix. Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Out of stock.
Oh, fantasy mix, not mystery mix. Sorry.
Verna says, listening to chirp, watching how fast they grow for the first 2 weeks, and third would be eating them. Say that's my favorite part of raising quail, I guess, would be listening to them chirp and their little peeps and chirps and everything. But
I love the so many different sounds. Like, it's not every time I hear a little old man tell me, "Oh, those Bob Whites, they sure sing pretty." I'm like, yeah, but have you heard of Coturnix? Like, Bob Whites do sing pretty, but Coturnix have a really wide variety of sounds. So
it's pretty cool. I like them.
I definitely love like the genetic side of it and like mixing the colors and like I love the freedom of it, I guess, that there are really no like rules. So, and since they grow up so fast, like you can get your results fairly quickly.
Jasmine asked, do you have any suggestions for processing quail chicks for raw cat food that's humane? I guess CO2 or doing the cervical dislocation.
Very gently.
Cervical dislocation is probably the easiest. Just sucks to do it on chicks, but can be done. Joyce says, hatching and seeing what colors I get. That's kind of my fun. Is all the different colors of quail is fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like the rabbits though too. They're fun.
Creme de Argent babies are the cutest. Like silver fox babies are cute too. Don't get me wrong, but creme de Argent.
I told Kristin
babies
that I was gonna put her in a cage and then take all the bunnies and put them all in the cage with her.
Oh yeah, we should have done that. I was having like a really bad day. This was a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "You know what you need?" I'm like, "What?" Because I was in a bad mood. He's like, "A bunny pile." I'm like, "A what?" He's like, "A bunny pile." He's like, "I'm going to put up our little temporary fence and make you lay down in it and put all the bunnies on top of you." I'm like, "That sounds amazing."
We still should do it.
I probably would get peed on so much, but like, I don't know.
It'd be so fun.
Put a swimsuit
Be
on.
a great video. Ed says, quail, I can eat them and make jewelry with them.
Yeah, they're very versatile.
Jessie said, Loretta said her favorite part is having bunnies and feeding them.
They're so cute with their little noses.
Jennifer wants to know, how are your stackable planters you showed a few weeks doing? Do you still like them?
Yeah. So the green stock is doing amazing. It is very like,
that thing's working awesome.
It is like hands off, and I think maybe has a lot to
hands off because your husband keeps watering it for you.
Well, I mean, it's easy to turn. So I got the spinning base, so it was easy to turn so that everything can get sun exposure. Whereas the cheaper ones that I put the strawberries in, I forgot to turn it consistently. So the ones that didn't get as much sun, they're all dead. So I feel really like that's my fault.
Oh, the stupid short planters.
Yeah, and they take forever to water. They're a pain in my butt. But if I got like a Lazy Susan or something to put it on, it might be better. But
I almost think those things would be better if they didn't stack, because they're so small.
Yeah,
and they're so shallow, and I don't think they're good for. Even though you planted all the,
I mean, I could just unstack them.
The things in there. Strawberries, I don't think they're good for strawberries.
That could be. I don't know. So it's okay, but it's not great. The green stock, like when you're talking like bang for your buck, I definitely got, even though the green stock is more expensive, I definitely got more bang for my buck, like more produce for my dollar from the green stock. So I really want more. Like if I could just have like a bunch of green stalks, I would be happy. Like it's
definitely the best use for space.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
They grow pretty well.
I love how much produce that.
I'm not happy with how the pepper plants are doing, but I think they just need some fertilizer. Yeah,
and those ones were started kind of late too, so they didn't really get a fair chance. They are blooming though.
I know, I saw. Your daughter asked me if she should pick the flowers.
No.
I was like, please don't. I'm like, that's the whole purpose right now.
Yeah.
What they're supposed to flower.
Yeah.
She's so used to, because when they were growing in the greenhouse, and a few months ago, I'm like, yeah, pick the buds, because just let the plant get bigger and everything. Yep. And then yeah, she's like, should I pick them? I'm like, please no.
Yeah, don't do it anymore. Do not. No.
Jasmine says, quail, knowing where my food comes from and getting others addicted to raising them, they are fun to watch too.
Yes.
Jesse says, my favorite part is seeing the babies hatch, be born, and never gets old.
Yeah, when they pop out of their shell, I love it. I don't know if you guys have had this too. We've had it a few times where like I'll open up the hatching basket and there'll be somebody like running around in there with the egg on their head, like almost like a little helmet. And I'm like, oh, you're so cute. Here, let me help you out.
Tickle Trunks here says, forgot to say I'm here. I'm just feeling awful today. Insulin pump needed to be readjusted once again post-surgery. Yeah, that's going to happen a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
It
rough road,
sucks.
but hang in there.
Glad you're doing good, though. I mean, not, but you're doing good. Jasmine says, rabbits improving breeds. The babies are so dead gum adorable. I can never say that word.
They are, for sure.
Kelly says, OMG, I have an attack New Zealand kit. It's barely opened its eyes and lungs and bites fingers.
Lunges.
Oh, lunges. And lunges and bites fingers is super funny.
Yikes. That's weird.
That's fun. That's pretty much it.
I think your son was hollering.
Kelly said, hi, everyone. You'll have to come say hi to me at QuailCon because I'm so shy, but you'll know, I'll be near Kristin, Brandon, Verna, and Jasmine.
There you go. And we'll have name tags on, so.
I won't. You'll just have to figure out who I am.
I'll tattoo your name on your head.
No, please don't.
We just got new tattoo needles for the rabbits.
No, we didn't.
We didn't?
I thought they were coming today. We didn't.
Yeah, you told me Wednesday. You
Yeah.
lied to me?
I told you Wednesday to Friday.
But I have plans for Friday for tattooing.
I thought we were tattooing on Saturday.
Well,
Or no, we're not. Because of the swap. Darn.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
I don't
figure
know.
it out. What?
Furnace says Brandon is the dark Paul Bunyan. Why am I dark Paul Bunyan? I know who Paul Bunyan is.
Because you do kind of look like him, though. Like, tell me that doesn't look like you.
Ed says, so what are you going to do to get more duckweed? So I still have the duckweed bins in the house that have been growing. So we still have duckweed.
Yeah, we grow it in the house and then we put it in the pond.
And then yeah, that's kind of what I was doing. It was growing in the house. When the house would get populated, I would take and scoop out like a bajillion duckweed. What are you doing? I would scoop out a bajillion duckweed and put it in a pond and then get that filled up decent. And then when that would get so covered that I couldn't see the fish, I would scoop that out and what was in the house and feed it to the ducks in their duck waterer. But yeah, the duckweed actually grows in the duck water too, pretty good too. But they like to eat it. But yeah, we still have duckweed. I need bigger bins to grow more of it. Might use totes or something. I need more surface area. That's all I need.
Yeah, where are you putting that?
I don't know. On the roof.
The neighbors would complain. We've been having issues, if you can't tell. I'm super salty.
Steven says the pickled eggs are to die for from Quail. I did bread and butter and hot dill pickle.
Ooh.
Didn't do bread and butter. I don't know how that would taste.
So
I'm sure it would probably taste okay.
I sold my cousin some quail eggs because her husband wanted to try them. He's from South Africa and he's like, eating, I don't know if they eat lion, but he's like eating all sorts of weird stuff, right? And he's like, I've never had a quail egg. I'm like, I know somebody who has some. And so he got some quail eggs and she texted me today and she's like, you are forbidden from ever selling him quail eggs again. I'm like, and I just saw that first sentence come through. I'm like, oh God, what happened? And she said that he pickled them and she said the house reeks really bad, like from pickling them. And I'm like, oh, sorry.
Why do you pickle them?
Because he's learning. So he's on this like preservation camp.
Yeah, he is. He wants to do a lot more.
So I'm very proud of him.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I was talking to him. He made some ginger beer this last week, which I have to try. I put it in the fridge. But and then he was talking about doing some other like fermented, like making beer, and then he was also talking about preserving food.
Yeah, because he had tried like some peaches or something, and that didn't turn out. I forgot why. But yeah, so that was funny. So story time.
Witch Doctor says, "Why do you tattoo the rabbits?" Tattooing the rabbits is required to show them in the ARBA rabbit shows. So you have to tattoo their left ear, and the right is reserved for what again?
Registration. Oh,
Okay.
I'm still proud of you. I was gonna say I was almost proud of you. I'm still proud of you.
Whatever.
So yeah, you tattoo their left ear, and that's required to show them. Even if we're not gonna show one, like we tattooed one that had an S-box eye because we're like, well, it's good practice. We need the practice.
And then I called it Nessie, and I thought Nessie for the longest time was a boy or a girl. And it turned out to be a boy.
Yeah, it definitely is a boy. What I was saying. Oh, so it also helps you like, you know, keep track of like who's who. So you know, like when it's coming to freezer camp day, you don't pull like a 5-star.
It's also good
rabbit.
for keeping track with like the pedigrees and everything.
Yeah, like if you're gonna sell them, and then so they'll look at the ear, like when you're like say you get like first place or whatever, or second or whatever, the judge will read out the ear number. But then if you win 3 legs, you get, it's called Grand Champion, and you can register your rabbit, and then they get a registration number in their right ear.
Okay.
And then they're Grand Champion.
Gotcha.
So it'd be really cool to have a Grand Champion rabbit, and I will, even just winning a leg of our own would be really cool. So the rabbit we just got already won a leg. She was, she came in first as a junior doe at the Creme d'Argent Nationals. So that was the leg she won. So she already has 1. We only have to earn 2 more. But
you have 2 more legs.
I forgot I was talking to somebody and I said something about like, yeah, I can't wait till our rabbit wins 3 legs. And they're like, why does it only have 1? I'm like, oh, it's like an award.
Yeah.
I don't know why they call them legs, like a leg of a journey, like the leg to being a grand champion maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I don't know as much about it as I wish I did.
Ed asked, have you given it to the quail yet? I have not given it to the quail. I was in hopes of doing that and growing an abundance of it, and then they got eaten. Them darn fish, you know, those 45-cent freaking goldfish ate a lot of duckweed. Jasmine says, oh, I don't know why it's not coming up. It's on there. It came up there on there to your guys' screen before it did mine.
That's weird.
Oh, another plus for the rabbits and quail. It's low maintenance and smaller medical kits. LOL. My goats med kit is huge and they're challenging. LOL. Yeah.
That's my one hesitation about like, you know, when we get a larger place someday, you know, like we dream of having like cows and pigs and goats and all this. And I'm like, we would get everything moved there and like establish the garden and like get everybody settled in. And then the first thing we would probably add would be goats, because I feel like that's the next step up, because they need to be dewormed and they need shots and they need this, that, and the other. And then like the next step up is probably pigs, you know, like I would have to ease my way into it, because like the larger the animal, the more maintenance they need. And that's really daunting to me. So kudos to you for taking that on, and your goats are in good hands, because I know you're like me and are insane with your research. So
yeah, Jasmine's a wealth of knowledge.
She is.
Ed says 2x4s and plastic lining, add water and duckweed. I would need somewhere to put those things.
And again, if it's not like in the fenced in backyard, the neighbors would complain.
Jasmine said, "Oh, I need to order my tattoo pen. I have no idea what else it said because it didn't come up. Need to order my tattoo pen for my rabbits. Thanks for the reminder."
Yeah, we just have the one from All Things Bunnies.
Yeah, she asked me already what we had.
Okay.
She's like, "What do you guys have? Or what do you suggest?" I don't know.
Oh, I do remember seeing that. Yeah.
And then you didn't reply, so I replied.
Well, I think I was in the garden or doing poop trays or something.
I think you were doing Quail barn things.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ed says his name is Gimpy because he's only got one leg.
Sir Hopslot.
Where does that say?
No, I was making a joke.
Oh.
I'm not that funny.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna tell Jasmine, I would definitely get like dark ink. You can get like other ink for tattooing on there.
Yeah, Kristin was gonna be awesome. She thought she was gonna be fun and I
bought like the same as our Whiskey Tango Farms, like teal, like that minty teal turquoise.
It does not show up.
It doesn't show up at all. And part of the tattooing, like for them to be showable, like it has to be legible. So obviously like that wasn't going to work. And I don't think it would probably even work in the cream ear. We did it on a silver fox. So obviously like their skin is just
I say Nessie's the one that has it in her ear.
His
ear. And you can see where I kind of did it, but it does not show up very well.
Yeah. So, but I know like people have tried like navy blue and purple. I think it'd be cool to do like purple.
Purple would probably be all right.
But we just got black.
Purple.
Tiffany has done purple and she said it
color.
Works. Yeah, I know it is. And there's also, it was a funny name. I can't remember. I don't know.
Okay.
I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, that's clever. But I can't think of it now, of course.
Witch Doctor says, I've got a lot to learn for rabbits.
Me too.
I think we all have something to learn. I never stop learning. I'm sorry, it like takes forever. It's like slow. Ed says pan fry till golden brown, Witch Doctor. Adrian Sear says hi. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Jasmine says,
yes, exactly, Kristin. I'm giving one of my does, the goat, vitamin B complex shots twice a day. Thankfully, she's a peach. A quail would just head to freezer camp for this much maintenance, LOL. Yeah, I was thinking about that in the winter when we were having issues with our kits with the cold and all that. And I went and I bought like kitten replacement milk and I was like, holding it and trying to warm it up with a hair dryer and like all this stuff. I'm like, I wouldn't do this for a quail. And I know to some people like that their quail are pets and they would, and I don't fault them for that. But I was like, you would just not be here right now. And then they died anyhow. And I was like, oh, I tried so hard. But yeah, bigger animals definitely need more care for sure.
Witch Doctor says, can you naturally deworm goats?
I don't know. I know that you can. I know that pine trees, like if you have a Christmas tree, I always see my goat friends, not my friends that are goats. I don't have any of those, but my friends that have goats are always asking for people's Christmas trees after Christmas, live ones, not artificial, of course, and they eat that, and it's supposed to be a natural dewormer. I think you are still
Jasmine
supposed to worm
says,
them.
yes, Mel,
Oh.
There are many plants/herbs that are naturally deworm goats, and minerals/diets go a long way too.
There you go.
See? I told you, she's a wealth of knowledge.
She is. Jasmine is like the encyclopedia of homesteading.
Jasmine says, I want to do dark green tat ink to match our homestead colors, but I will probably just stick with black. A dark, moody green.
Oh,
Oh, she commented, dark, moody green.
yes, I think that would be excellent.
Ed says, Kristin, you know you want goat friends.
I do want goat friends. Olivia wants goat friends so bad.
That sounds like girlfriends, goat friends.
Hey, girlfriend. It does. I can just see myself going out to the goat barn. Hey, goat friends.
I'm sure Jasmine does.
Jasmine, if you don't, please do it for me. Hey, goat friends.
Jasmine says, haha, I try, but I'm always learning.
Yes.
That's why you're always so
That's
smart.
why you're so smart. That's kind of how you are too. Like you're always like digging. Your like knowledge is more like spread out though, which I'm thankful for because there's a lot of things I'm like, I don't know what to do. Brandon. Well, even like, okay, so I remember a couple of weeks ago, I said that I had to take a generator down to mom's because hers wasn't working. And then somebody said, get fuel stabilizer. Well, we went down there this weekend because my mom was like, oh my God, I need a generator. Like she was worried about it, like just in case. And we went down there and Brandon like took it all apart and like cleaned out the carburetor. And like, I don't know, it was a whole thing. And it was a big long process.
rebuilt the carburetor.
Yeah. And I asked him like, well, how much would that have cost her? Like if she would have taken it to a shop, he's like, probably at least $200 because they probably would just order a new carburetor. He's like, I just fixed that one.
Ordered all the rebuild parts for it. And all I did was clean it and reuse all the gaskets.
Anyways.
Anywho.
Like there's no way I would have known how to do that. My dad doesn't know how to do that. You know.
Engines are very simple. They're just air pumps when you add fuel and spark and they go bang and they run. So
kind of like a firearm. Sort of. In a different way though, I guess. I mean, I guess it is. It's just combustion.
Juanita's here, says hi. Hello. Thanks for joining. Doctor says, so what goat friends make goat milk soap?
I don't know that any of my friends make goat milk soap. I bet there's some like online or maybe somebody in the comments does. My one friend that I was talking to at the last swap, Lisa, she said she thought about making goat milk soap, but she's very busy. And like by the time she orders like all the supplies and stuff, she's like, she probably wouldn't have time for it. She wouldn't have a lot of time and effort to invest into it. She didn't feel like it was worth it. And she said there's a lot of people in this area selling goat milk soap. And I have seen a lot of it at the like the Phelps Dairy store.
There's even at the swap.
Yeah.
People sell it. So
yeah. So I would probably make some maybe for myself or like gifts or something. But I really want to make butter and cream.
Jasmine says, you guys, deep booty green. Yep. You'll never live that one down. Sorry.
I think it's cute. It's adorable. We love you.
If you guys don't know.
Oh my God, don't make her go through it again.
Well, they have to understand why we're making, you can't have an inside joke. Is that Jasmine was on our show. If you guys want to go back, it was an awesome show. She was just...
Somebody asked, what's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
We were talking
about Quail, and she said deep moody green. And I was like, no, you're Quail color. And so, I joke with her that I'm going to try to work on a deep moody green Quail for her.
I think that would be awesome.
But like a Cayuga Quail.
Yeah. We'll get one of the Cayugas, cross it with a Quail. The Quail will probably die. We would definitely have to do... It definitely couldn't be a Drake duck over a Quail because it will die. So yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, Ed says, "Yep, they gum up. Great job, Brandon." Yep.
Yeah, there was a ton of like,
there's
in the
tons
bucket.
of gunk.
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't do. I don't think they had anything in there, but now they have the marine stable in the tank.
And he went over like the maintenance with her and stuff, like how often he should run it, and yeah. So.
Adrian says, "Can't wait to see you at QuailCon. It's awesome.
Yes, it's gonna be lots of fun.
I can't wait for QuailCon.
I'm anxious about it, but like also very excited."
Ed says, "Suck, bang, blow. That's how combustion engine works." Yep. They don't really suck, they vacuum.
Oh my God, I knew it. As soon as I saw he said that, I'm like, he's going to say, no, it's actually a vacuum.
Jasmine says, this goat friend doesn't make goat's milk soap, at least not yet. My mom made it for a while. It's a long process, and you need so much stuff to make cold processed soaps.
Yeah, and I think that's what my friend Lisa was saying. She's like, something about the way she wanted to make it so that it stayed truest to its like benefits, I guess, which makes sense because like when you're talking about like preserving herbs and stuff like that, like if you use heat, it whatever. Anyhow, yeah, that's basically what she said.
Juanita says, see you both today. Awesome. See you there. Jasmine says, ha ha ha, it's fine. I read the comment quite literally.
Yes, that's okay. That, you know, I think the reason I enjoyed it so much was because that's something I would totally do.
Yeah.
I would be like, turquoise.
Ed shared the live with Jasmine.
Oh, thanks.
Link. So you guys can all check that out later. Patricia Eastman says, hi from Virginia. I put 22 of your eggs into the lockdown, 19 hatched on Sunday, and are doing great. Thanks.
That's
awesome. Thank you for letting us know. I always like hearing how our eggs do.
Yeah, I should update that. Or I guess, I think she said, on 19 hatched on Sunday. Yeah, so probably no more. So 19 is the final.
Adrian says, I got a used incubator. I turned it on and heated it up and held its temp and humidity great. So I added my eggs, then found out the turner is broken. Can I just prop the eggs? How often? And is there an angle or should I shoot for? Honestly, you just need to turn them a few times a day.
I would take...
you don't really need I mean, you can angle them, but...
So...
you could just take them out of the turner and just lay them flat and just roll them.
Yeah. In nature, if you think about it, I mean, obviously they're not in nature, which is why they need a little bit more help. But, you know, quail moms don't prop them up pointy end down. So don't worry about that. I would say just lay them on their sides because that's how they sit in like the nurturite, for instance. And take like a number 2 pencil or just a pencil and put like an X or something, a mark on one side so you know like which way you're rolling them, not so you're just rocking it back and forth like all the time. So I'd roll it maybe like a quarter turn every 6 hours or so. Just roll it a little bit and just roll them back and forth.
Yeah, just a few times a day. I mean, you can just, people do hatch without rolling or turning.
Yeah, you technically can. You might not have as good of a hatch rate, but like if that gets to be too much, or say like you were going on vacation or camping or whatever and you weren't going to be around to do that, like just do what you can do. So just do your best. You can still hatch without turning them. It's possible. So just not recommended. But yeah, I would try just the the pencil thing.
All right.
But good luck. I hope it goes well.
Ed says like and hit subscribe. Ed says Jasmine is awesome.
Jasmine is awesome.
Yes, she is. Verna says I would keep them in the turner, but take the motor out and carefully turn the eggs using the turner. That's what I did for the longest time. Adrian says, is there something special I should mark on the egg since the eggs is porous and I don't want toxic chemicals getting in?
I would just use, like I said, like a pencil. It'll still have its bloom on it as long as you didn't like wash the eggs, which you shouldn't do anyhow. And that'll keep that out. Like it's not gonna eat through the bloom and into the shell or anything like that. So you should be fine with just a pencil. So, and I know that they're kind of dark. So like if you have a darker one, if you have like a white colored pencil or like a light colored pencil, you could try that as well. But even like on a dark spot, you can put the pencil on there, and especially like the shinier ones, you'll still be able to see that contrast. It might just not be super easy to see. So
Yeah.
That's a good question. Is there a cat over there?
No, it's my cup making noise.
Oh, it sounded like somebody was
I
gonna
know.
like start.
I thought it was a cat licking itself or something.
I was like, get on the tile, get off the carpet. Do you guys do that? Like when you hear your dog or cat start puking, you're like, to the linoleum or tile or wood floor or whatever. I'm like, just get off the carpet. Like, I get out of bed so fast, you guys.
Adrian says, do you suggest spraying with Listerine? I don't want to mess with the eggs, but some people say the bacteria can negatively affect hatch rate. I personally wouldn't.
Yeah, I know some people do, some people that have very, very good success with it, so I won't fault them for doing it. I don't find that it's necessary at all because of that bloom that's on there. So when like chickens or quail, for instance, lay an egg, they have, all the parts inside, like the yolk, the white, the membrane, the shell. And then the very last thing before she lays the egg is she puts on, it's called a bloom, and it's like a light layer sealant kind of. And basically that is meant to keep bacteria out. That's just nature's way of keeping bacteria out. So as long as you don't wash them or do anything that would make that come off of them, like rubbing on it a lot, like a lot, or something like that, that will be on there and it will keep everything out. Like that's literally its only job. You had one job. So I don't find it's necessary to spray with Listerine. I know some people do, so you can. I don't think it'll harm anything. I just think it's a unnecessary step personally.
Yeah, I don't really think there's a use for it. Adrian says, sorry for all the questions. I watched 100 videos and still have questions. It's no problem at all. Yeah. That's what we're here for. Appreciate
we've all been
the questions.
There. Yeah, they're really good questions, and yeah, we've all been there. So that's totally fine. We love to help.
Yeah, Berna says if the incubator is clean, isn't a problem.
Yes, that's true. Sanitizing between hatches is always a really good idea. I will say I believe it's impossible to get them like completely 100% perfectly clean, and it kills me inside because I'm like, oh, there's some in the corner, but do your very, very best. And if you're using anything like very, when I say like toxic, like high fume or whatever, just make sure it airs out plenty between hatches, not so you're like bleaching it and like Lysol and Clorox and whatever, and then like taking your new eggs in there and letting it go and heat up and make this like toxic air.
Jasmine says, all right, y'all, I got to get ready to dose up my goat. Great chatting with you all. One of my favorite midweek chats and chills.
Thank you for
joining. Steven says, if you have rollout floor, they don't get dirty. Yes, they don't get as dirty when you have rollout.
Yeah,
flooring.
sometimes I don't know how.
Although
they get them dirty still. Like, well, they do kind of like. Sometimes their poop like flies a little, and I think it.
Well, sometimes their poop just isn't small enough to make it through the cage,
and then it rolls over it.
Otherwise, if you do not have rollout cages, if you have a sand bath in your cage, usually, from my experience, majority of the quail will lay in the sand bath and they're clean. So that's always a good thing too. That's my blue hutch out there. I have the sand bath in there, and almost all of them lay in that, and they're clean, unless I run out of sand because they like to throw it out. But yeah, I think those are pretty good that way. Jennifer Meyer says, I spray my incubator and turner with 50-50 Listerine water.
Yeah, that seems like a really good idea because that'll help sanitize the actual equipment. So that makes sense to me. For sure.
Patricia says, my quail are 3 days old and 2 of them are making loud sounds. My husband says that they are roosters. Could that be correct?
I have not. I have heard this a lot, and I've never actually like followed through with tracking it because there's always like 100 little fluffy raisins running around, and it would be impossible. I feel somebody could probably do it if they were patient enough. I am not. But I've heard a lot of people say that they grow up to be roosters, and I've heard people say, I think Verna even said she had one that was like 6 days old and it was crowing, and I'm like, that is insane to me. So I don't know, but maybe. I would believe you if you said that they turned out to be roosters.
And Witch Doctor says they do too, use the Listerine.
Oh, the mix.
Yep. Jasmine says, oh, and don't forget those thumbs up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, thanks. Adrian says, I got some old hens with the used setup I purchased. I can imagine it was stressful to get a new mama. I have one hen that is laying the blue/thin eggs. How long until I give up on her?
I forgot how long ago she said she got that. I would give her a couple of weeks because it could be stress from moving. She might be adjusting to what, like, say you're using different food than the other person. Like, I would give her a few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So, and you'll get that too with, like when these babies hatch out and they start laying eggs, when they first start laying eggs, like, don't be surprised if you get like a bunch that have like no shell. You'll get some that's like just yolk. You'll get some that's just the membrane. You'll get double yolkers where they're like giant eggs. You'll get, we call them fart eggs, and they're like teeny tiny. It's super weird. Their systems,
I had one little tiny. It was like the size of a pea.
Yeah.
One day.
It's super strange.
I thought it was a turd. But
and that can happen with hens that have been laying for a really long time too. Sometimes their systems just kind of get out of whack, but then they'll reset and they'll be fine. But yeah, I would give her a couple weeks to fully adjust. So, because she went through a lot. So just like us, when we move, like, nobody likes moving.
And Witch Doctors, excuse me, says we must collect our eggs often in the summer here. Cycle Ward collected eggs and forgot them on the patio. Went back out a few later, cut one open, and it was hard boiled. That's
nuts.
That sounds awesome.
My dad said when he was a little boy, they used to take eggs and fry them on the sidewalk. He grew up in San Diego, so.
You can do that here in Blacktop. Doesn't take much to fry an egg.
I could see that. As like, he probably, knowing him, he probably told me like in the middle of winter or something. And like my little tundra mind was just
You can take a cast iron pan and put it out on the cement, even in the blacktop, and you can fry an egg.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's cool.
Verna says the 6-day-old one, the stand and everything was a crow stand. It sounded funny, but wasn't the usual I'm unhappy that a lot of the complaint cry.
It's almost like he was just like, maybe, I wonder if it's, you know how like babies hiccup a lot to strengthen their diaphragm? I almost wonder if it's something like their body's strengthening what they'll use to crow eventually, maybe. That'd be interesting.
Adrian asks, are sand required? I have a hatching time cages and don't know how I can fit that in there. They are not required at all. They just make for happy quail. But they're really,
I don't think
not.
You'll get it in the, because we have hatching time as well. And yeah, I wouldn't, because then they'd have no room for not sand bath area. And those rollouts work really, really well in the hatching time. Once in a great while, like a double yolker will get stuck, which is not, it's not the cage's fault or anything. It's a huge egg. Sometimes they'll get stuck in there and they'll get pooped on, or like Brandon said, sometimes the droppings won't fall through and then it'll roll through the poop. So your eggs should still stay pretty clean. And honestly, like if there's like a big like turd on it or something, like just brush it off. Just don't use like anything wet. Just dry with your hand or like a glove or something.
Yeah, Ed says that sounds too hot for me.
Yeah. That sounds like I would be sitting in some AC or in front of a fan or in the water or something.
I'd be definitely in a pool or something.
Yeah.
Adrian says, you all are amazing. Can't wait to meet you.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
super excited that you're coming. I hope people like realize once they get there, like it is so fun. Like I really like in the video that we shared about all the details, like I really meant it at the end when I say like you leave and like your heart is full and like you just feel good and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go do this quail thing. Like you just feel so empowered. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for everybody to experience that and share that with others.
Yeah.
It sounds really like cheesy, but I'm kind of cheesy anyways.
Are you?
I married you. Ha, got it.
All right.
But anyways,
With that, we're gonna end it tonight. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate it. We'll be here back next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m.
see you then. Blessings.
Bye.